We are live. Brand new year, same old Chelsea. I thought we had this shit figured out after Bournemouth that you actually have to play with tempo. You can't play like you're 95 years old uh, and in a wheelchair. Because if you play that way, any Premier League team, or hell, any Champions League team or championship team can. Yes. Sorry about that. I had feedback. My fault. So anyway, like I was saying, any championship team can set up a defense and stop you. So it's really bad. We played down to our worst player that was forced onto the pitch in Cesar Azpilicueta. He was utter dog crap. He is not good enough to play for Chelsea. He was not good enough to play for Chelsea in the summertime, but we re-signed him because Thomas Tuchel won. And I keep seeing this crap on Twitter that we need to sack Potter and bring back Tuchel. This is Tuchel's freaking squad, folks. All these players that you're like, well, why is that guy still here? And why didn't we bring that position? Well, guess what? Thomas Tuchel. He wanted Cesar Azpilicueta re-signed. He didn't think we needed a midfielder. And so we're going to blame that on somebody who's had to come in and pick up the ball for him. No, I ain't having it. No more. I don't want to hear about Thomas Tuchel. He is not our coach. And if you look at the squad last year, at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, it doesn't look any different than what we're doing now. So don't act like it's the coach's issue. It's some of these players on this team that get way gassed up because maybe the flag they have next to their name, or they show up against crap teams and ball out. And that's what we're supposed to say is a good player. This is what we're supposed to say about this. No, man, we got to raise the standards around this club. Now, we brought in Badia Shield today. Good. Good. I need some pace on that midfield, or excuse me, in the defense. Thiago Silva is 38 years old and is not supposed to be playing game in, game out. You save him for the big games. You bring a Badia Shield in because Fofana, he needs time to recover. And you've got a left footer, somebody who can play that pass from the left hand side. Maybe is younger, has got a little bit more pace. But this folks, this cannot stand. Because the dude abides, and we ain't doing this anymore. Josh, I kind of ranted. I'll let you go ahead and do the same thing. How about it?
Yeah, it's your show, dude. Yeah, it was terrible today. Just not anywhere near the level it needs to be. A lot of disconnects on the pitch. I think you started off with Azpilicueta. Yeah, there's no reason Azpilicueta should be playing. I don't. I love Asby. You won't ever hear me slander him as a player. I have too much respect for him. But Trevor Chalobah is more than capable of playing right back for this team. If you need a right back right now, in the meantime, until you have somebody ready to go there, he's just a better player, better defender, more pace, better passer. Just he's a better player than Azpilicueta at this level. And I don't really see any reason why you would start Dave in that kind of scenario.
Team captain.
Go ahead, Jared.
I said team captain. That's the reason he started.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Like, I think if just because he's a captain, I don't know that you have to start him if he hurts the team. He can be a locker room guy, but there's just no need to be playing him anymore. I got not. You want to play him for 10 minutes at the end of a game, maybe, but to be starting a Premier League game in 2022, 2023 now, just can't have it. Can't have it. I'd rather take my chances with Chalo there because he gives you a little bit. He's better in I think every level of the game at this point. Now I think our shape. We were in a 4-2-3-1 from what I could see on the pitch. A I'll start with that too. I thought Jorginho today was really bad. Sub 90% passing for Jorginho today. He was getting bypassed defensively all game. Zakaria actually, I think, had a better passing percentage than Jorginho today. And he was the first guy taken off, which was crazy to me. But Mason Mount was playing as a center attacking mid. I think that was his position on paper today. He was nowhere to be found, absolutely invisible today on the pitch. At times, Kai Havertz, who was playing center forward, was deeper than Mason Mount, which again just cannot happen in any sort of football shape. Mason was sometimes up top playing almost like a second striker, just nowhere and leaving the midfield wide open. Really disappointed today in his game. Raheem Sterling scored the goal, but I'd say overall, like maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 outside of that goal today. He was really bad. Yeah, just not enough, man. And Graham Potter, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I didn't see anything special today from the football. It was a 4-2-3-1. We played sort of 4-2-3-1 style football. I didn't see anything different or special from that shape. I thought his substitutions were late. I thought they were off, to be honest with you. Brought Carney on as on the wing again. I think Carney I would have brought on maybe as more of like a Mason Mount replacement. Put Gallagher in a pivot, and he was really, really bad when he came on in the pivot, but we all know that already. We've seen that a bunch of times already. Yeah, just not good. Not good from anybody. Kepa was maybe a lone kind of bright spot today. He was pretty good. Distributed the ball well, had a couple of nice saves. The goal is unfortunate, but it was very disappointing, Jared.
Yeah, I really do. And of course, there is a report out today that supposedly Enzo Fernandez is supposed to be completed by the end of the week, which can't be soon enough, as far as I'm concerned. We got Badia Shield across the line, of course. We need to go get a right back. Pardon me.
Sounds like Jarnovich is close, or at least the main target that they're working on, because you can get it for a cheap price. Man, I would love that to happen. I think he'd be an amazing fit into this back four.
I don't care who it is. We got to be somebody, because
no doubt
you can't go from Reece James and playing quick football to going to Aspilicueta and playing, we're in the retirement home and somebody got a broken hip type football. That's the speed. And
no doubt.
Like I said, when you do that, any professional can set up a defense and make it difficult for you to score. And that's what they did. And then for reasons that I still don't understand, I understand playing down the right-hand side against Bournemouth when you have Reece James there. Okay? Best right back in the world. You play down that side. You have a grandpa there who hasn't seen 90 minutes in how long? And you're going to play down that side. But on the other side, you have Cucurella, Mount, and Pulisic. Because I think in the build-up, they were going to 4-3-3. Maybe without the ball, we would go to a 4-2. Mount had a free roll, so he wasn't just sitting in the middle.
Sure. Yeah. Mount. Yeah. It was. Yeah. But I call it a cam because he's basically the one who's allowed the mobility in the middle of the pitch. Like,
right.
That was supposed to be his role today, and I think he was picking the wrong areas of the pitch to be all game. He was just, we can get into him a little bit deeper later, but yeah, for me,
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into it.
But yes, we agreed on his positioning. Yeah.
So you could have played down that side, and the time we did score in the first half, which we played down the left-hand side. Christian Pulisic puts a cross in. It comes off Willy Volley off the crossbar. Boom. Sterling scores because he can still finish in the box. You don't want to build up play through Raheem Sterling because he cannot hold on to the ball. He is so Timo. outside of the box. It's unbelievable. He is not that dude. Where you do have a guy that can receive the ball, make a turn, make somebody miss, and make a play. It's Christian Pulisic is on the left. He's not on the
Yeah.
right.
And he
So
was Jared. He was really. I thought he was really good today. Like maybe it was a lone bright spot in attack. He earned maybe 4 or 5 free kicks. Probably could have earned a couple of yellow cards. I thought there was a grab around the throat that was questionable in the game. His passing was really, really good. He was looking to get the ball forward. I just didn't think he had a lot of help. He didn't have a lot of help in the large portion of the game from Mason. But I thought overall his game was pretty good today.
yeah, I thought he played well, but he didn't score 2 goals and get an assist, so we're the only ones that think he played well. So that he has to get 2 goals and an assist to play well. You didn't know that? Uh-oh, I think I lost Josh. Yeah, so Christian Pulisic, the bar is for him to play good is 2
Yeah.
goals and an assist.
Yeah, obviously, it would have been nice to have him get some sort of end product, but like like you said, he created the ball that ended up being the goal. Like, yeah, he was taking guys on, he was getting fouled a lot. He just didn't have that sort of link up player today that he normally has in the midfield. And it made it kind of a little bit tough for him to get forward, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just the whole setup today is just disappointing.
Well, and when he did get into the final third, he was looking around and there was nobody trailing him most of the
Right,
time. There was
right,
no
right.
midfielder there. There was, Cucurella was late a lot of the times. And for me, I prefer Chilwell in the final third over Cucurella. Cucurella in the build-up, yes. In the final third, I think Chilwell's a better player. I'm sorry. Cucurella,
Yeah, I agree.
underlap,
I
do
agree.
something. Create space with your movement. You can't just come up there and stop. So for me, I think Chilwell's better in the final third than Cucurella, but we don't have that option at this point, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey,
But there was nothing.
was that crazy, or did Cardi look like he got kicked in his chest today on that yellow card?
He tackled him. He kicked him in his chest. Yes, he did. That's
Yeah,
why he stood up and balled his fist up and said,
I
"Hey,
was
you wanna
I
go?"
was I was disappointed the refs didn't go back and look at that as violent conduct, because I thought it was to me it was a clear kick. And I
Yeah,
think if the shoe was reversed, I think that would have got looked at. But I was like, man, I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but even when they showed the replay, I go, man, that sure does look like he kicked him in the chest there.
yeah,
Uh,
but I'm not going to
but
blame
yeah,
the
I know what
rest
I
for.
mean.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame the rest for the poor play. The ref had nothing to do with the slow build up and the absolute dross that we sent out today.
Yep.
Um,
Nope.
yeah,
I agree.
it's just not good. Like you said, Jorginho under 90% is worthless to have out there. And that's what he was. He was under 90%. If he's under a 90% pass completion, it's like playing with 10 men. He's not worth having out there. And sorry, that's what he is. And he's nothing more than that. Yeah, I agree with you, Mo. Mount shouldn't get 150K a week. He is just not it. He's just not it. He doesn't have the pace to make a turn and get away from players. He doesn't have the vision to make somebody miss, pick up his head, make a through ball. He doesn't. He's just not it. Now, you could say he's going to develop to that. Okay, fine. Put my hands up. He's still a young player. But I ain't giving him 300K a week. He can go to Liverpool and get 300K a week. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, both. Yeah, but I agree with you. Both can be true. You can say like, "Hey, he's a young player." I agree. Let's let him have time to develop. It could potentially get there, but those guys don't make 300K a week. So you can make what a young prospect would make in this market. You can make. I'm okay if he even makes maybe 100K. I think would be what, like about a 20,000K bonus for him. Uh, but if you're looking for crazy money over 250K a week, sorry, buddy, wrong club, man. He's
Yeah,
just not that
I think
guy.
so.
He's not that guy right now. I don't know what it is, man. He does. To me, it's more. I do think he does have that. Obviously, I think the one move in his bag is that half turn, the quick half turn that he has. But you don't see that enough to justify that. His vision, I think, like you said, I agree with you. His vision is poor. Uh, the technical ability, I don't know if it's there for me either to be sort of considered a top attacking midfielder. Um, yeah, man, I he was a real disappointment today for me. He was just kind of out there. Uh, him along with Jorginho and Asby and Raheem. Those are the four guys I thought today were really kind of sort of off it. But it is what it is, man. I told you I'm not expecting this team to make top four. Uh, but I'd like to see some improvement on the pitch. That would be nice.
I think that's harsh on Scott McTominay. I'm just saying that's harsh on Scott McTominay. Yeah, we need to understand that some of these players need to be moved on. They're just not good enough. By the way, I don't know what happened to the rest of the people that were supposed to be streaming with us today, but we'll take them to the woodshed later on. Uh, but yeah, Mount is just an average player.
Yep.
Uh, he's got a super non-average fan base.
Yep.
Okay, great. But I've been coming out and understand that this is an English team, an English country, but I don't want any more English players on this team. I could stand to have a few of them go bye bye because here's my thing: it's fine to have a bunch of players from a team, a country
Yeah.
that's winning shit,
Uh
right?
huh.
France, hey, we're okay. Bring me some more French players in. Come on.
Right.
Argentina, they win stuff. Brazil wins stuff. Hell, the United States wins stuff. Guess who doesn't? England. They'll win the damn thing. So why should it be? Should we want to go out and sign? Oh, let's go get this English player. Really? Because they don't win shit. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't want Declan Rice on this team. He is average. He's mayonnaise. Everybody said, "Well, look at this game. He had a good game the other day." Did they win or did they lose? No, they got their asses pounded. So don't come to me and say, "Well, look at this stats. He was great." The team lost, which means he doesn't affect the game enough to be worth the transfer fee.
Yeah.
He does not affect the game. He does not make his teammates better. That's what you want out of somebody. A great player not only does things is great, he makes the people around him better. Mason Mount doesn't make anybody around him better. Declan Rice does not make anybody around him better. They're just players. And like I said, if Declan Rice had the the Republic of Ireland flag next to his name instead of the English flag, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It would be a moot point. And nobody has come out and said, "Oh, that's not true," and give me any reasons why that wouldn't be true. Just not.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see any more English players. I want to see Gallagher and Mount go someplace else. I, I like Carney Chukwemeka. He's English. I like Reece James. He's the best right back in the world. He's English. But don't think that we need to, the other day, here we go again. Caldwell. Oh, he was brilliant. They gave up 4 goals. You were a defender. You weren't brilliant.
Yeah.
You gave up 4 goals. Not brilliant. I don't care what the stats say. You lost.
Yeah.
Next.
Listen, I agree, man.
Yep.
I
So
just want I keep saying it, but like I just want talent in this team. I just want fresh bodies, new talented people. I don't care how old they are, where they're from. If they come into the team and give us, help us at all, I'll take whatever. Um, today was just like another glaring example of like the lack of talent. We do have a couple of really good players in this team, but without complementary help and depth, like you just got, it's just pieces. It doesn't make up a
Yeah,
team.
it's like we got, like I always said, it's like because of how the club's been run in the past, you have three different puzzles, and you put all the pieces from those three puzzles together, and you're supposed to make one puzzle picture. You can't do that with pieces from other puzzles. They don't go together, and that's what this team is. It's a bunch of players that don't fit the systems that we want to play because they're brought in for different systems and different managers. And this is what happens when you chop and change, chop and change, chop and change. Eventually, it will catch up to you. And it's now caught up to us. And it's time to understand that, yes, the Roman years were brilliant. They were brilliant. But they didn't leave Chelsea in the best place
Right.
because of how the club was run.
Yeah, no,
And
I completely agree. Like, yeah, I mean, I think even Bowley and Ekbali, they said it the other day in their interview. Like, when they got to the club, they didn't realize how dire the internal structure of the football club was. No, the sporting directors, the technical directors, the scouting director, all these things that are integral in sort of like keeping a sustainable model of winning going. We're just not there. So that's what they've done now. It sounds like, and it seems like they've got some really good guys in place that they trust. We'll see how they do, going forward. But certainly, this team needs a lot of talent in a lot of positions. It's like if you wanted to equate it to like American football, it's like we've got a good wide receiver, but no quarterback. We've got a good offensive line, but no running back. We've got a tight end, but we've got no wide receiver. It's like there's teams that are just missing. You got to have to be a good team. You got to have a little bit in every position, and right now we're just really lacking in that department from a talent standpoint. So. Hey man, we're gonna have to kind of again, I think, ride this out. Unfortunately, my expectations are not high for the rest of the season. I guess we're still in the Champions League. That gives you maybe a little bit of a maybe different feel of football to look forward to. But as far as English football goes, I expect us to probably stay around where we are for the remainder of the year, barring
yeah,
some big changes.
yeah, look, I think what we saw today is the absolute need to have Reece James in the squad. That's the guy you should
Yeah,
be calling the glue, the essential player needs to be on the team sheet. That's the
right.
glue, not the
Yeah,
number 19, the number 24. Sorry.
yeah, no, but yeah, he's to the way we play football right now. He's absolutely integral. He's, I mean, just take like at the end of the game there, that one little chance we had where Asby got free and CH played it through a really beautiful ball. If that's Reece James, he either maybe takes a shot on goal or that ball gets through to somebody. But it's Dave, and Dave sort of just fires it into an area. Um, So yeah, I mean, he's obviously just an the absolute piece to what makes us good. Without him, we're pretty average, and I think that's been seen.
Yeah, I think our midfield looks even more average because he
Yeah,
he he, he relieves a lot of that build up responsibility from the midfield because you get in the ball, it's like having another winger over there when he goes forward.
yeah,
He's just
yeah,
that talented. It's like Trent going forward, but it's not like Trent in defense. So I just you say what you will, but the midfield looked. It was the same midfield from both games. The only
yeah,
difference from one game to the next, other than the fact that there's been a lot of teams that have played subpar in their second game back this weekend. I will say that Man City for one.
yeah.
Um, so
Right.
it seems
But we're
like
not
there's
really,
just something.
but we're not really. Go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I'll bring that up, not that it's an excuse for anything, but a lot of teams
Yeah.
that you thought, hey, they're going to win that game, like they didn't show up, and so we'll give a little bit to people still coming back and getting into the team. But the only difference in the two teams was Reece James not being there. And if
Yeah.
this is the difference, I don't care if Enzo Fernandez comes in this week. I want a right back to come in this week. That's who I want first. Yes, I want Enzo Fernandez. Don't get it wrong,
Yeah.
but come on, man. You cannot look that bad with one
A
player
confident,
coming out.
yeah, a confident back is.
I think we're losing Josh. He went the way of Mr. Roboto with me. That's okay. You gotta go?
So now, if you hear me now, but yeah, you
No.
asked jump there. Yeah, I completely agree. It's an absolute must in this January.
All right, bro. Well, I can't barely understand you. So who do we get? Jernovich or Dumfries? All right, man. You gonna jump? I think we lost him. So anyway, should we get Jernovich or Dumfries? Well, for me, 6 one way, half a dozen another. I know Dumfries gets a lot of stick. They say he's not that great. For me, he's not a bad player. Any of those players are an upgrade over what's there now. Okay, you it's not a high bar. It's very, very low, so I don't care. They're also looking at Molina, the Argentinian right back. It's 24 years old from Real, not Real, Atletico Madrid. So, just so you know, they have a profile of player. They want everything to be young. Oh, there's my girl. Happy New Year, Miss Molina. At least one of us had a Happy New Year. Not so much on this side of London, but appreciate the sentiment. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, for me, I don't care. Just the right back has to come in, um, because you cannot lose one player and look like your top four top four squad. Lose one player and you look like your bottom half squad. That can't happen. It's professional football. If you're so dependent on that one position, you should have came into the season with a competent backup. And I put that on Thomas Tuchel because he's the one that wanted to ask to be re-signed. So you guys can keep coming with this Thomas Tuchel nonsense. I'll keep swatting it away. He was let go for cause. Okay, and that's not the first club he was let go because of cause, because he didn't get along with the upper management. Well, guess what, folks? This is real life. If you don't get along with your bosses, your job is going to be terminated at some point. As soon as they have enough on you, you're gone. You're out the door. This is real life. This is big boy time. So I don't want to hear any more about Thomas Tuchel. He's not coming back. He's not the coach of Chelsea, and he is as responsible for what's going on as the current coach because these are his players. I don't believe Potter has brought in one player. I know Cucurella was probably somebody they had in mind for him, but he still came in under Thomas Tuchel. So again, we cannot keep doing this where we say, well, we just switch managers. No, switching managers is why we're in the position we're in. And since Molina is here, let's talk about somebody who didn't switch managers when most of their fan base wanted them to. Only people who didn't want them to switch coaches were Tottenham fans, Chelsea fans, anybody who wanted to laugh at AFTV. They all wanted him to stay. But look now, he's in first because he was allowed to put a system in place. Yes, everybody can say, well, Chelsea's not Arsenal. Well, the old Chelsea's dead. It left with Roman Abramovich. This is the new Chelsea. They, as long as they see improvement in this team, Graham Potter will be here next year. So we're trying to build a different thing. Okay, we're not chopping and changing. We're not flying by the seat of the pants. We're not. Oh, we need an attacking player. Go out and get Lukaku. This is not what we do anymore. Okay, the football people are in place. Yes, there will be some more that come in, but they're there and they're doing their job. So this is going to be football based. It is not going to be feeling based anymore. It is not going to be, you know, it's not going to be, well, I think that we should switch managers on the fly and just so we can win this year. Okay. You keep doing that. You keep kicking that can down the road. Eventually, you get to the end of the road and you can't kick that can any further. And then you got to pay the piper. And yes, I am speaking in allegory and alliteration, but sometimes that's the only way to get through. You kick the can down the road ends, then you got to pay. And we're paying now. We're paying now. So be quiet is the first thing I'm going to tell Chelsea fans. Just shut your pie hole when it comes to other clubs and what they're doing. That's the best thing you can do. And see what happens in the second half of the year because the season's not even half over. So we can say, "What was me? We're not going to finish top four. We're not even going to be in Europa League." Blah 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 blah. We're still in the Champions League. We're still through with a chance to still win it. As long as you're still in the tournament, you can win it. The only time you can't win a tournament is if you're not in it. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup. Now that might change by the end of the week, but we are still in it. Uh, so there's things to play for until there's not. So keep your powder dry. What would be a 10 out of 10 January transfer window? I would have to say Enzo Fernandez. We got Batty Shield, and for me, a right back. Okay, we've got Nkunku coming in the summertime to show up the attack. Who else might be coming in? I don't know. I like Rafael Leao. He won't come into the summertime either. I know there's talk about João Felix. If everything that's been reported on João Felix is true, and it's 16 million for a loan, then people would be jumping on that because he's regarded as a top talent in Europe. Especially if there's an option to buy on it, or even if there's an obligation, you jump on it because uh, he's supposed to be one of those world class players in the future. So there's just something funny about that whole situation. By just that doesn't seem right. I understand for a 6-month loan, 16 million is really a lot of money. But if you're Arsenal trying to win the league, it makes sense. If you're Chelsea trying to get in the top four and maybe or winning the Champions League, which negates where you finish, then you go get him too, because he is. I understand you say he's just as bad as Havertz. They're different types of players, and he's only played in under Simeone, who is, my God, he is, pragmatic. If you look pragmatic up in the dictionary, Diego Simeone's picture is right there. Okay, I'd like to see what Felix does in a real squad that plays, progressive football. However, I understand the consternation because he hasn't, done it in the big times. But I mean, we say João Felix, but put somebody in chat that you think was going to do, and don't put Mudryk there. Ain't two of you watched Mudryk play a full 90. So I don't want to hear about it. Nobody has seen him play a full 90. And then everybody's like, oh, he's going to be great. Well, you don't know that. He's playing in the Ukrainian league. Okay. That's always, that 100% of the time that translates. Come on, folks. I don't think Arsenal should sign Mudryk either. I think Arsenal needs to put another midfielder in the rotation because they're very light in the midfield and they seem to be scoring goals for fun. So for me, their Achilles heel looks like it's the midfield and the defense because they almost let that one get away from them yesterday. So I think that's what they should be looking at instead of an attacking player. But that's what people, attacking players is what makes the money. It's what moves the needle as far as PR and Ivan Toney's out for the year, maybe. He's got a knee. So you can take Ivan Toney all you want to, but he will not be going anywhere until the gambling investigation gets wrapped up and he is cleared. Just is what it is. Nobody's going to pay money for somebody who could be potentially suspended. Sorry, Ivan Toney. Yeah, Adam, I believe you're correct too. I don't think we're in for Mudryk, but again, if the build-up play is that slow, I don't care who you have in the final third. You're not going to consistently break down a Premier League defense playing and building up play that slow. It takes a run and a pass spot on to beat a setup defense. Whereas if you play fast, play balls over the top once in a while, cause chaos, you end up scoring. Not us. We're just gonna play grandpa football. Slow passes, pass the ball forward, pass the ball back. There was no triangles today. There was no overloads. There's nothing. It was slow, lethargic. It looked like everybody was still on holiday. I thought Ziyech played better than Sterling, although against a better side, Ziyech coughs up the ball way too easily. They had a couple of breaks down that side, and I know it's not all his fault, but he's a bit too erratic for me. Koulibaly, look, he had the hard assignment. He was playing with Aspilicueta today, who was burnt on a regular basis. He has no speed left, none. Dusted. He has to have a 5-yard head start to keep up with these guys. So for me, Koulibaly's fine. He's not maybe what he once was, but I always got told, hey, give somebody a year to adjust to Premier League. Well, he was. I understand that, but if somebody's grabbing your shirt or your arm and you're trying to run away, once they let go, you're going to fall down. He won so many fouls, and probably should have won even more than was given. I thought he was our best attacking player on the pitch today. Not that that's saying very much. Because did we even have a shot on goal in the second half? Yeah, because he's going to be here. He's not going anywhere. You don't pay that kind of money unless somebody comes in with a big offer. Statistics. Let's see. How many shots did we have in the second half? Second half. We had one shot in the second half. One shot. And so we're worried about bringing in attacking players. Well, guess what? You got to get them the ball, these attacking players, in positions where they can score. That is not done just by the attacking players. That's done by the midfield. That's done by the fullbacks. It's a team game, folks. It's just not three guys up top got to do all the work. So we if we would have played the same tempo as we played against Bournemouth, we probably win this game because we get the second goal and we kill the game off. We never got the second goal. We got the first goal by luck, by the way. And that was it. We're just going to pass the ball around for 90 minutes. We're going to just pass the ball around. And that's not the way that you advance and you get into the top four. Look, I'm not going to. Yes, let's all blame Pulisic for the fact that we didn't win. Keyshawn, that's the kind of poor. It wasn't his moment to shine. He played well in the Bournemouth game, other than getting robbed from a penalty and a goal that should have stood. But whatever, we move. He was our best. I know, but he was our best attacking player. Mount did absolutely nothing. Havertz, other than dropping deep and picking up the ball to build up play, didn't do a whole lot. And Sterling, I forgot he was on the pitch, other than turning the ball over every time the ball was played to him. So I know, Keyshawn, but I just that strike is not as hard as or as easy as people think it is, because you're falling away. It is what it is. But yeah, you're correct. If we don't get the midfielders and the right back, we're done, and that's what it is. And hopefully, Potter looks at this game and go, "I got to put Chalobah or Zakaria over at right back," because right back is basically a six playing the wing. So if you can play a six, you can play right back, left back. You just can, because you have the defensive now in the open field to make tackles, and you're able to progress the ball. So I would play either Zakaria or Chalobah there. No reason to see Aspie on the pitch unless you're closing out a game and you're already up. Yeah, well, you don't need Loftus-Cheek is really not defensively sound enough to play at right back. I would rather Chalobah or Zakaria. Yeah, J5 needs to go. He'll be going this summer. I don't think we're going to terminate any contracts, Mo. You still gotta fill out the squad, and as lucky as we are with injuries, you know that we're going to need quite a big squad. So it was nice to see Carney get on the pitch. I don't like him on the wing. I like him, at an 8 or a 6 basically, but he can play 10 because he's the type of player who can pick up the ball, make somebody miss, play a through ball, and build up play that quickly. So I was happy that he got on the pitch, but I'd rather see him in the midfield. Mo, I guess, I don't know if you drink or not, but some people will just drink more if Arsenal win the league. It is what it is. If we don't want them to win the league, then we need to start winning our games, and next time we face them, beat them. That's all we can do. We have nothing to do with how Arsenal play. So it is what it is. We'll just have to take it and say, hey, we're still the only team in London who's won anything in Europe. So Zakaria was all right. It's like the Bournemouth game. You could say nobody really played bad. Well, this game you could say nobody really played well. I mean, yeah, there was some. Silva played well. Kepa played well. Cucurella was all right. Still don't like him in the final third. I just, for me, it was just crap. It was a crap game. It was like everybody was sleepwalking. Well, I don't really want to get into an Arsenal conversation, but yeah, I mean, uh, it is what it is. They're in first place because they're playing better than everybody else. It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. It is what it is. Cucurella was all right, but I can't remember the last time he crossed the ball in that went to anything or had any combination play in the final third with the winger that's on that side. And thank you, Miss Molina. You have a good one too. I'll talk to you soon. Can anybody tell me when the last time Cucurella had a cross into the box or had a combination play with the winger? Nobody. I'm guessing nobody can give me that information because guess what? It probably hadn't happened. Yeah, defensively he was fine. Although I think he's a little bit slower than Chilwell will as well. He can get beat with pace, whereas Chilwell's a little bit quicker. So um, yeah, past yeah, they were it wasn't great from anybody, but for me, I'm saying in the final third, you're not getting a whole lot from Cucurella over there. I get that definition, but for me, Thomas Tuchel did that playing a back five, and so he minimized the opponent's chances of scoring, and that's how we won a lot of these games. But and the inverse is we didn't do much going forward. Uh, and I'd rather go to the back four, be a little bit more open, but be a little more attacking. Today, we were just a little bit open and didn't attack. So it doesn't, it's one of those things where yeah, you can put the plan in place and set up everybody right, but the players go out there and they shit themselves. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So hashtag bald Cucurella. Yeah, it's just the fullback's position is to play the ball, to be involved offensively and defensively. And for me, Cucurella is good in the build-up play, but gets to the final third. I just want to see him make an overlap, get the ball, play across. I haven't seen that. Part of the problem, I don't want to see us play a back five. I just don't want to see it. Maybe in this game he could have, uh, you know, he could have gone and put a back three in when we got up close to the end of the game, but the goal happened fairly early in the second half, with 60th minute or something like that, and so for me that you just don't switch that early. Yeah, I'm not gonna slate the coach until he's given a couple windows to bring his players in and actually have an off season to implement his philosophy. Come on, folks. If we fire Graham Potter, we're going to be in the same. We're going to go down the same route. You bring another coach in, it's going to be a temporary because it's going to be very hard in the middle of the season, and to find somebody out there that wants the job. And then if it's an interim, then you have to change to a permanent. That's two more managers you go through. And what if that permanent doesn't work out? What are you going to switch again? It's just like I said, the old Chelsea is dead. Quit trying to resurrect that crap. That is the reason we're stuck with so many players that can't fit in so many different systems because chopping and changing managers. We got to stop that. We got to operate different. And I don't see any reason to fire the manager at this point. I would fire players first because we've seen them on how many managers they've gone through, and it's the same time. It's the same way every time. Well, it is the midfielder. You bring in Enzo Fernandez in, somebody who can can make a pass out of the midfield, build up play. You put him in the midfield, you've upgraded your midfield. You put him next to Kovacic, or you put him next to Zakaria. Hell, you can even put him next to Jorginho, and then you play a 10 in front of him. You play a Mount, a Gallagher, because that's the only play. No, that's the only position Gallagher can play in the midfield is forward, because if he gets the ball too deep, he loses it. You can put Carney Chukwuemeka in at any of those positions as well, but it gives you a way to play. The way Potter likes to play with his sixes is he doesn't like a sitting six. He wants both sixes to move up the pitch. And then just realize when the other one goes forward, too far forward, you have to hold back a little bit. But he wants to be able to press from the right and the left of the midfield and to make the pitch compact. So he doesn't want a sitting six. So I don't know what to tell you. That's why he doesn't want Alvarez, is because he doesn't want a sitting six. That's why we're going for Enzo Fernandez instead. It just is what it is, folks. And you have to just give it some time. This might be an off year, but look, we could finish sixth, win the Champions League. That doesn't matter. And as long as we're in the Champions League, that needs to be our focus, because it's easier to win the Champions League right now for us than it is to get into the top four. Am I right or am I wrong? Let's see what the chat says. What's easier to do? Win the Champions League or get top four? From this position we're in now. Come on, I don't have a co-host. I need some input from chat. Well, Enzo's 21. He hasn't been injured, so I don't know. But what do y'all think? Is it easier to win for us to win the Champions League this year or top four? Yeah. Good to see the beautiful game in the chat. Yeah. You win the UCL, you can finish sixth. Doesn't matter. Yes, there's some money you're missing, but you make it up winning the Champions League. And you're still in the Champions League next year. So for me, just win the Champions League. It's wide open. There is no favorite for me this year. We know how Liverpool and Man City do in the Champions League. They're not tournament teams. So for me, this year Champions League is wide open. Who knows who's going to win it? Because I don't see a dominant team out there that's played better than anybody else. For me, both Liverpool and Man City have problems on defense. They play high at the pitch and they turn the ball over. They're there on the counter. Of course, you have to play fast. Celery. Bayern Munich really. Have you seen Bayern Munich are not that good of a team. If their defense is suspect as well, and that's why they've had so much problems in the Bundesliga this year, because they gave up way too many goals. You look at Real Madrid, the current holders. They've not played well this year. Hell, Antonio Rudiger is playing left back. Left back. That's why he left Chelsea to play left back at Real Madrid. Okay. So no, I'm not worried about Real Madrid either. Of course, Tottenham's still in there, isn't it? So yeah, we're not worried about Tottenham because they'll go out this next round. Yeah, I agree with you. We have to get Enzo in. We have to get the right back in. We've got the center back in that we need. Um, so we can pick up on the center back thing. We've now on our first team under contract. We have Trevor Chalaba. Thiago Silva is supposedly going to be extended. That's two. Koulibaly is three. Wesley Fofana is four. And Badiashile is five center backs. If we're playing a back four, and I use my hands because I can only count to five. If we're playing a back four, why do you need five center backs on your team? Can anybody tell me why you need five center backs if you play back four? And if you do go to a back three, you know as as well as I do that you can play Reece James there as a center back in a back three. So who goes? Well, I tell you who goes. It's the Cobham kid that goes. Because you don't need five center backs. You need six midfielders in the squad. You need six attacking players. You need four fullbacks and a couple keepers. So I think that Badiashile signing might be the end of Chalaba. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, he signed an extension, which means you could sell him for more money because you're buying the contract, not the player. The problem with the back three, Dinesh, is that if you play a good enough midfield on the other side, and they have three midfielders, while you only have two, your midfield gets overrun. And the only midfielder that can really take away that advantage is N'Golo Kante. But we only have the ghost of N'Golo Kante, or the artist formerly known as N'Golo Kante on our team. So, no, Enzo and Kovacic could not beat a good three-man midfield. Just too many players, one too many. So, I would love us to stay in the back four. You bring Enzo in, you pair him with whoever in the pivot, and you go. I agree, Adam. Put Trev at right back. He can't be any worse than the ass, man. He really can't. So he's faster, he's taller. I I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. For me, I would. Either put him or Zakaria there. But Aspie, he no longer needs to be on that pitch. Period. End of story. He is not at the pace. So what else we got? Oh, look at this guy. Who is this guy? Man, he seems familiar. He kind of looks like the guy that is usually my co-host on the stream, but that can't be because he wouldn't be in the chat. He would be on stream. I don't understand. Wow. he's ignoring me now. Yeah, if oh your mic is fried. Yeah. Fried mic. Hmm. Well, folks, I don't have very much else to go through. We've been through the crap performance. We've crapped on players. Um, hey, I'm on a different computer because of my mic. I got a new one coming, by the way. I got a new mic. I got a new mic coming. But yeah, so Mason Mount, he can go bye bye. Yeah, for me, I would start Aubameyang at striker and Kai underneath him because that you end up really in attacking a 4-2-4. So for me, I would do that because they make different runs. Havertz and Aubameyang make different types of runs. So yeah, I would definitely do that. But as we both know, Mount has everybody's nudes, so he will play. He will play. All right, folks. Well, I'll let you get back to your New Year's. I appreciate you spending some time with me. Hope I guess it wasn't a loss. I guess that's all we can say, right? It was at least 1 point, but it was not good. It was not good enough. I agree, Carlito. Maybe we need to do a podcast today and go over it. Although you can't be on it because your mic is broke. Come on, man. Do better. Starting out the new year, man. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that everybody has a better year this year than last. It's not going to be very hard for me. Very low bar, but y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful year, and we'll see you next weekend. Let's go. Maybe we'll have some positive stuff to talk about, although we're playing Man City twice, so probably not. Talk to y'all later.